We went to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and this is our review.
What is happening to me?
So we've reacted to the trailers on this channel, so if you've seen them, you know that we were really excited to watch this. And yeah, I don't think it really disappointed. I didn't love it as much as I hoped I would, but I still really enjoyed it. You loved it a lot.
I did,
didn't
yeah,
you?
I had a really good time. There was a lot of gritty New York in this film, and that's like the key to my heart. So just having Spider-Man depressed, walking through New York, flying through New York, I can't really ask for more than that. I'm a very simple girl.
Yeah, we were really excited to see how Destin Daniel Cretton directed this because we just watched Shang-Chi like a few days before going to see this, just to get excited about his directing style, especially his like Marvel film directing style. We're big fans of like some of his other work, like Just Mercy as well. So yeah, it was really exciting to see what he did, and I really love the vibe of the directing and stuff. I think it was so well directed. So yeah, when I say that I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, I love Spider-Man. Like, it's one of my favourite characters in like the MCU and just Marvel in general. Andrew Garfield was my favourite growing up, and he still holds a place in my heart as like just the Spider-Man films that I just adored, you know? So it was really good when we watched No Way Home, because we got that elation, you know?
Yeah.
Seeing Tobey Maguire again, seeing Andrew Garfield, obviously I know this is very like fan servicey, so that's why like we hold that film in high regard a lot of the time. But I actually just really love that film in general. I think it's just really well structured, so well acted. I loved the cinematography and everything. So that one I have like really high up in my estimations, and I just don't feel like this one lived up to that. But compared to Homecoming and Far From Home, I liked it a lot more. Yeah, just a really well made Spider-Man film.
Yeah. With No Way Home, I feel like they really linger in the darkness. They linger in the depression, and they really linger on like Peter kind of like almost losing his way. And obviously it's a good thing that he doesn't necessarily slip fully back into that, and I guess Tobey really did help him when he had that talk with him at the end of that film. But I think I just wanted a bit more dark.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the thing that like felt a little bit like, gave me that little bit of empty feeling. It was just, I felt like they could have done more with the darkness with it, because they, like you said, they started playing around with that in No Way Home a lot.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it fully went into it. I was so curious about this, the organic web stuff and the arachnid levels like increasing. I was so curious to see what they did with that, but I feel like they didn't go into it as much as they could have done. I feel like they were balancing a lot with this film. They were trying to tell Peter's story in terms of where he is mentally, with like his loneliness, with, you know, MJ and Ned not knowing who he is anymore and not being part of their lives. But then you also had bringing in a character like Jean Grey, having Frank Castle in the film, so you're trying to play with like these other characters as well, introduce new people, introduce people that are pre-existing but are new to kind of like the MCU films, along with like the plot and having these like high stakes action sequences and stuff. There's a lot to balance in these films, and I feel like because of that, sometimes it's hard to like be invested in the emotional side and then care about like the overall story and like you know, the stakes that are at play here. So yeah, that like didn't strike a perfect balance with me. I wanted to be more emotionally invested than I was. I mean, it didn't help that we were in a packed out screen full of a load of kids.
We had probably one of our least favourite like cinema experiences when we went to see this film. We had a packed out screen, and it was just full of kids and teenagers. And you know, the second you see that, you know it's just going to be loud and disruptive and goofy, and it was.
What can you expect as a Marvel film?
Yeah.
That probably played a huge part in me not loving this as much as I thought I would, because like some of those really quiet scenes, like those emotional scenes between like MJ and Peter, just everyone was like talking and being really loud, so it's really hard to get invested with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe on a rewatch, I'll probably love this film, and I
Yeah.
might love it even more than No Way Home, and you know, I'll have nothing bad to say about it. But yeah, first experience wasn't that great, which kind of shows that the film must have been really good to like have any level of enjoyment
Yeah,
in that
that's
screen.
true.
But yeah, so it was a little bit annoying with that. But what I was saying before, the balancing with everything, sometimes that's really hard in a Marvel film. And recently, one of my favourite Marvel films of recent times is Thunderbolts. And I feel like they balanced everything so well. Humour, emotion, and the grand scale, like storyline and the fights and stuff.
Yeah.
All of that stuff was balanced so well. So that kind of like, if I'm comparing in my head, I did enjoy Thunderbolts more. But like I said, I need to rewatch this film again.
I think some of the strongest points for this film was the dynamic between Ned, MJ and Peter, and also the dynamic between Frank and Peter. We have a couple things, we'll go into them more, but I'll linger on the positives for now. I really love the lost, like the the hopelessness that Peter kind of feels when like he's watching Ned and MJ. Like it's been about a year.
Yeah, like they do a big time lapse,
Yeah.
don't they?
And like
Time
it's rough, really I mean, if you can get invested with all the kids yelling around you, it's really like emotional to witness. I don't know. That kissing scene was brutal.
Yes, it fucking was, wasn't it? So many scenes between them are brutal. You just can't help but like feel so bad for like Peter in those. Yeah, it was one of those ones that I really want to watch it again for that. That was my favourite part about it, was the dynamic between them. But yeah, you mentioned Frank, and like we both were so excited for Frank to be in this. We are huge fans of the Punisher series, huge fans of Daredevil where he appears as well, and seeing a different iteration of his character, different style to him being in a Spider-Man film. He's more, you know, got a more friendly package, let's say.
It was a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah, putting into Marvel, he has to be packaged in a more friendly manner for, you know, the kids that are watching, because if you've seen Punisher and stuff, you see how crazy that can get. I predominantly loved his performance. I loved the character. A couple moments that felt a little bit more corny, like it felt like they were trying to make a gimmick out of some of his things, like some of the screams, some of like...
Yeah.
I think that was one of the times that some of the screams didn't feel as like gut-wrenching as they did in Punisher. The screams felt like there was so much anger and vengeance and stuff behind them. They're like, that's this inner pain coming out. So you really felt it in the Punisher series, whereas here it kind of felt like, oh, the scream is Punisher's gimmick, so we'll have him do that. And yeah, just some little corny moments with his character that maybe like was very different than what we were used to, but overall really enjoyed him being in this film, and I'm so excited that he's like getting his moment, John Bernthal getting his moment on the grand stage, because he has done so well with this character over the years, so it's only right that he's able to get the spotlight as well.
He's one of the most fleshed out characters in Marvel. Like he's up there as one of our like top 5 easily, maybe even top 3. I haven't thought about it. But like, yeah, no, it was really nice to have him there, and obviously he's got that friendship with Tom Holland in real life, and you can really feel that come through in this film.
Definitely.
And I like that.
Yeah, the chemistry between them was really, really good.
I'm just going to list off a couple of other things, because otherwise we will be here all day. Some of my favourite elements to this film was by far the cinematography. I thought it was incredible. The music was amazing. I really, really loved it. It felt really like all-consuming and stuff. I also thought that Sadie Sink was really good. I think she was a very intriguing character, very much felt that sympathy for her when we find out kind of what her deal is. And I think that scene where she was on the bench with her sister was really strong, and especially the scene where she was with May inside Peter's head. I really, really loved that scene. And then when they had their talk, it was just really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I agree. They hit the emotion really well in this film.
Yes.
Even if they have to make their little Marvel jokes to end some emotional scenes. That's like one little irk I have with
Yeah.
Marvel sometimes, is that like I really love emotional scenes. I really love when they go deep, and sometimes if they end, I get it, like it's bringing some levity to an otherwise very somber scene.
Yeah.
But sometimes I hate it when they have like a real like heart-to-heart moment. Someone's really given this great monologue, it's full of passion and emotion, and then someone has to make a joke, and then it has to be like really light-hearted to end it. I'm like, I guess that's because I watch a lot of miserable films outside of Marvel, so that's what I expect. But yeah, it's just one little thing that like really irritates me sometimes.
We've also got Liza Colin-Zayas as well in this film. We love her from The Bear, so it was like one of those things we'd kind of forgotten that she was in this film. And she had a really, really good dynamic too with Tom.
Yeah.
I liked it.
She was a really good like soundboard of like Peter being able to like bounce off his emotion, with us getting his mental state, us getting how he is, because like he's got no one to talk to. So having her as a character where he can just vent to and talk about like what he's up to, that's really good as an audience to get inside like Peter's head a little bit more.
It was really refreshing to have Peter on the side of the police too, and not having everyone doing the usual thing where they're like, oh, he's an inconvenience, and it's like, no, for once someone's got his back and someone cares about him in the police force, and I really liked that.
It did feel like she just stepped straight out of the kitchen from The Bear onto the streets, put on the detective uniform, and then off she goes. I mean, has to travel from Chicago to New York, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I think that's all we have to say about this film so far. I mean, we could go into stuff a lot more. If there were more things you wanted to hear, let us know and we could maybe do a part 2, or if you have some specific things, maybe we can just talk about that in the comments or in another video, whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. It was a spoiler review. Usually we don't do spoiler reviews, but seeing as this is a new film, we wanted to get in and like talk about it more intensely, more in depth. So yeah, I hope you guys read the title. If you've not watched it, it does have spoilers in capital letters. So please, I hope you didn't watch this if you have not seen it. Or if you don't mind spoilers, then that's cool.
Subscribe if you're new. We make videos every single week, and we really hope you enjoyed this one.
See you in the next one.